Hey there everyone, coming to you from a very gray day today. It's raining like crazy outside. Perfect weather for working on projects. Today I'm going to start on a 1940s brassiere and French Knickers tap pants. For the knickers, I'm going to use this Rayon Challis for the outer fabric, and I have this white cotton voile that I can use for lining. And I also got myself some vintage Pantywaist buttons that I can use for the button waist closure on these knickers. I purchased a 1940s brassiere and knickers pattern off of Etsy. I've decided for now to put the brassiere pattern away and just get the underpants done first and then work on the brassiere. But for now, I've cut out the 42-inch hip pattern. This has a 42-inch hip, 32-inch waist. This huge thing is the legs, and then we have the basque front and the basque back. For the mock-up, I've decided to use this old flannel sheet. I think that they will be cozy summer pajama shorts if everything works out fine. Doing a mock-up with these older patterns is very helpful when they have vague-ish instructions. It allows you to sort out the assembly order and kind of play around with what they might want you to do. You'll notice when looking at this mock-up that the back hem is higher than the front hem. This is because there was an issue with the pattern where the front and back pieces were mislabeled. So these side plackets, they would have another button on them to keep them more closed. However, they are still going to gape even with a second pocket, and this is likely because it is too small in this area. So I think the easiest fix for this will be just to go up to the next size of the project, so to the 44-inch hip. This will give me more room for my hips since they do go higher up on my body due to my short waist. That I think should fix the gaping issue. You'll notice here that I corrected my pattern pieces. I started by stay stitching the Rayon Challis on the legs to keep them from stretching. Then I flatlined the basque front and back with cotton voile. The leg seams were sewn, pressed, and then French seamed. And then the crotch seam of each leg was sewn together. I did a really nice job sewing this seam. Unfortunately, it needs to be a French seam, so I need to pick it out because it's backwards. I chalked the placket markings. And then cut them. I folded under the seam allowance a 1/2 inch and pressed it. Next, I am supposed to edge stitch it on to the knickers themselves. What I'm gonna do is pin the basque front and back into place, and I'm gonna hand baste it on to the fronts and backs before edge stitching with the machine. The placket neatening strips were not graded up by the pattern digitizer. I cut these at 18 inches long. To finish the plackets, for the back part it says to fold under the edge and then fillet to the seam allowance. So I believe it means like this. I did try and give this a press to stay down, but it doesn't want to. The front half is just pressed in, and it will get edge stitched here to keep the facing turned into the inside. But for the filling, we're gonna go do these by hand. The edges have been felled and the front facings have been stitched down and the inside edge has been pinked. Next, we are going to cut bias strips to face the back and the front top edges. I've cut my waist facing strips out of the white cotton wool. These edges will get turned under a 1/2 inch and then stitched on. Okay, so here is the ironed and pinned hemline for one of the legs. This has just been folded under twice and pinned to the inside. We're going to sew this down before doing the other leg. These knickers are really comfortable and I think they'll make great pajama shorts. I think with some mods, they would also make some really nice summer shorts. As they are right now, they are a little airy in the back, and so might want to make some adjustments there if you're gonna wear them out and about, unless you wanna share some of your assets. The pattern itself was pretty easy, even though it has the typical 1940s directions where they're kind of vague, but I know enough sewing that that wasn't an issue. I will say that I hate facings. I just kind of feel like, why not just do a whole lining? In the case of the 1940s, it kind of makes sense because they were trying to save on fabric, and so doing a full lining was not the best way to skimp on fabric, and that is one of the reasons why they do facings. However, the facings on these knickers for the waistband don't really want to stay down. They want to flip up. So I will, especially the back one. So I will have to tack that down so it's not constantly getting flipped up and me tucking it back in. I'm a little concerned when I make a 1940s style bra because I do intend to do a longer line on it. And so with the higher waist and the longer line bra and my short waist, I'm kind of wondering where it's all gonna fit in. They're